Hey, hey, hey. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Girl Chat Sports. It's another West Coast Wednesday, especially hella West Coast today with our with Mo here. You know, she's still celebration mode for those Lakers 17 championships, right, Mo? Hello? Hello? I don't know. Mo's there she is. Hey. Hello?
For me today.
I can hear you. There we go.
So I'll just do it without the headphones because the headphones are being demonic right now.
Oh no, you and your headphone stuff, boy.
I know, it's always a fiasco technology, but it's all good. Yes, I'm representing the West Coast with my Lakers stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Dial, what's up, fellow Laker fan? You know what it is.
Hey, you guys. Yeah, if you're tuning in, make sure you share, start a watch party. Feel free to send the links. We are on Twitter Live, YouTube Live, as well as Facebook. Arlington, turn on. She's not on mute. It was her mic.
Well, I was on mute. Screen was telling me I was on mute, but it was my mic on my headphones muting me. So.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well. Yes. So Mo had a great birthday weekend. She got a Lakers championship. She got a Raiders win over Kansas City Chiefs. And your Dodgers today have hit it out the park, literally.
Well, we knew that was going to happen because they caught up so late in the ninth.
Well, we didn't know there was going to be 11 runs in the first inning, though.
Well, I mean, anything's possible with these boys in blue. Our bullpen is just so deep. Like I keep telling people, our roster is deep. And when those bats got hot last night, we came up close up in the ninth inning by one run to catch up like that. That's incredible. I knew they were going to turn it on today. I just knew it. It's not going to be easy. Some people have Dodgers in 6. I haven't really predicted. I could say 6, for the Dodgers, but we'll see. We will see. I know for one thing, we're missing David Price. That's our guy. If we had David Price, this would be a wrap already, in my opinion.
Is that right?
That is absolutely right. He opted out due to COVID, so he's not playing. He's like one of our ace pitchers, and he's a super hitter. So if we had him too, oh man,
it would have been done.
Problems. But I am happy. And see, more of a gift. We know what the Dodgers can do. So I don't really need those kind of news. I need news against anything Astros related. What is Tampa Bay doing against these Rays? Because they were up 3-0 and they could have ended it tonight. I know the Astros had a one run in, but I don't know.
It was tied up last time I saw. It was tied like in the 5th or 6th inning.
Yeah, I need the Rays, Tampa Bay. I need you guys to pull it out. You guys are the lucky charm this year for everything. I need you guys to pull it out and defeat those Astros. For real. 3-0 in the series. Like this is a must win. They win this, it's over. The series is over. Astros can go home too. So come on, Tampa Bay.
Oh boy.
One time I cheer for Tampa Bay on some stuff. So I'm rallying with them. And so that's man, you had a stressful game. I know we're gonna talk about NFL and stuff.
We'll get to the NFL for sure. Yeah. It's definitely been stressful. I mean, this is how it is. My Seahawks, they cause me stress every weekend. That's just what it is. I've learned to deal with it, and I'll get over it. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. It'll be okay. But shout out to everybody that's chimed in. We see Goose, Dre. Yeah. Donnell's got the Braves too, huh? Yeah. Oh, Arlington.
Well, he's a Braves. I already knew he was going to tap in. What I had to say about my Dodgers.
Right.
It's about, and I don't make posts about who I'm battling right now, but Goose is my enemy right now, so I can't really talk to Goose. So, and if we come better on the other side, then I'll talk to him. If we don't, then I might be bruised a little bit for a while.
It's okay. We'll get a handle.
It's hey, listen, that's what it's gonna be. And my Raiders, they were all time this weekend. Who would have thought?
So we'll definitely get to our NFL show or NFL discussion as well as picks later on. But let's get our guest on so we can get this going. We're very excited to have Miss Brittany Jackson here. Let's get her on. Hello. Hey.
Hey, Brittany.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Thanks for joining us. So There's a whole bunch of stuff we want to ask you about in regards to like professional basketball for women in sports, but definitely give us kind of like your history for those who don't know who you are, which I know there's already some that have hit me up like, hey, you've got Brittany on tonight. That's awesome. So I was like, wow, okay. So give us like a little rundown about you, where you're from, where you played, and kind of how you got your start and end in basketball.
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland, Tennessee. That's actually where I am currently. And I grew up here my whole life, played for the Lady Vols. And, it was a dream come true. Grew up watching Pat and the Lady Vols. So played there 4 years, graduated in 2005, and went on to play professionally overseas and in the WNBA. And now I'm currently retired. I have a basketball academy and a 5-year-old little boy, so I stay really busy. But basketball has been a huge, sports in general have been a huge part of my life. So I've enjoyed the ride. I started playing basketball when I was 4 years old. So it's always been a huge part of my life.
That's awesome. Well, let's just start with Pat. I mean, what is it like to be to be coached under Pat as well? All of her accolades, all that she's done prior to you being there with the Tennessee and after. What kind of inspiration, what kind of role model, what kind of coach was she?
Like I said, growing up here in Tennessee, as a little girl, you grow up watching Pat, and it's just how you read books, you watch movies, and it was like a dream come true. But yet, when I finally was offered to play there, you're like, am I crazy? Like, is this really what I want to do? But it was an amazing experience. I mean, I went to 4 Final Fours. And the next question is, how many championships did you win? And 0. I was beat in the finals 3 times. But it was tough. And I did an interview earlier with a former teammate of mine, and we were talking about you don't really appreciate the things that Pat instills in you until you graduate. After whenever you're in the business world, or whether she's coaching, I'm doing what I'm doing, and it was tough. It was a very tough experience, and I would do it over and over and over. But it wasn't easy. And Pat, if anybody that played for Pat Summitt said they didn't think about leaving, they're lying. You do. There's so many times that you just want to pack it up and go home. But you stick it out. That's what she teaches you, the discipline and the mental toughness. And so I think that all of her players that have played for her would agree that, just the mental toughness alone, like to deal with, if you can deal with 4 years of Pat Summitt, you can deal with a lot of things. So, it was amazing. I mean, 4 Final Fours, those experiences with my teammates in the locker room, like, you can't take those. So it was a great experience.
Wow. I mean, I just can't imagine. I mean, but you said people probably have thought about leaving, but then again, you've also going to 4 Final Fours, and then shortly after you left, they did win. What, 1 or 2 more? Yeah.
Yeah. Candace takes it home but it's that's what you play for. I mean, you wear a Lady Vols jersey because of the tradition, and if you don't make it to a Final Four, it's disappointment. And that's what we were talking about. It's like we're so disappointed to tell people that we didn't win a championship, but 4 Final Fours is pretty awesome. But it's just what what you expect, what the fans expect. If you're wearing a Lady Vols jersey, you're supposed to be in that championship game, and you're supposed to, bring home titles. Right. So, we've got to get back there, and we will. It'll take time. It's tough. These last several years for the Lady Vol family have been tough, losing Pat and having that transition and everything. It's been really tough. So hopefully we're building and we'll get back there.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure you will. It's like one of those, when you think of women's basketball, you think Lady Vols, UConn. I mean, those are some of the dynamic teams and colleges that are out there. But as far as that goes, what do you think about this now with this whole COVID thing? We'll get into your auction later on, how you had to kind of take that virtual due to the COVID. But as far as for now, like women's basketball, for NCAA sports in general, I mean, how do you feel like this has all kind of transpired and became what it is now? And have you heard of anything going on? I know some of the NCAA has as of today has given next year of eligibility for most players in the fall, in the winter sports. But is your guys' program on still for the winter? Do you know? And do you know? It seems like it's kind of hit or miss right now.
I know there's so much. That's what's been so crazy is just the uncertainty of everything. I mean, everybody, doesn't matter whether in sports, just life in general. So that's what's been so crazy. But I think so. I think right now, as of everything I know, we're on to get started and start practice. So, that's exciting. That's been positive. But through it all, I mean, I think it's just at the beginning of all this, we're like, what in the world? It's easy to just complain and be like, we can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. But then it's like, you know what, you got to get some positive out of it. And that's what I've actually done with this virtual auction that I started. I'm like, I can't control it. I can't have my events. I can't have my basketball camp. So what can I do to make a difference or make an impact? And that's what I've done with this virtual auction. And so, the same thing, I mean, with football, I mean, it's good to see these kids getting to play and, a lot of sports is more than just competing. I mean, it keeps kids out of trouble. It gives them something to do. And so, even though some of them don't have fans or you can't watch, can't go watch them, at least they're getting to play and we're getting some normality in all this. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how the basketball season goes. I think nobody really knows, nobody knows how it's going to go. Once you start competing, if one kid gets it, then the whole team's out. It's scary. It's a scary time right now because it's so uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen, but you just got to take it day by day. And I think I really applaud the NBA and WNBA, the way that they handled the wobble and everything and keeping them, I mean, nobody getting sick and the way that they handled it, I think was really, really good. And it was exciting to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The bubbles were great.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about the WNBA bubble, I mean, and I don't know about you, and I don't know about Mo can chime in too, is I know for me, it's one thing when you're on a team and have to work with a group of 12 women. I mean, being anywhere with 12 women, whether it be on vacation or is secluded in a cabin or in the Wubble, but you've got now, 8 teams or 12 teams, of women all in one place. And we have heard a little bit from Liz Cambage previous about how she doesn't think she would have been able to survive that kind of atmosphere. What do you feel as far as the Wubble? Have you heard anything from other athletes as far as how that atmosphere was either positive or negative for them? Or what would you think would be your experience in that kind of situation?
I think that it was a tough and difficult situation for anybody because you're not very unexpected. You're not, all this just hit everybody at once and you don't know. But in the end, I think that it has to be positive that at least you're with your teammates, you're getting to compete, you're getting to play. So, I heard nothing but positive from anybody and everybody that I've talked to in the women's basketball world is just happy that you're getting to play and you're getting to compete and get to be around your team and, out of your house. So, I think it was great. I think it was a great idea. They handled it well. The players, the organization, everybody, as well as the NBA. I think it was a really good idea and they executed it well.
Yeah. Well, and they also had time since they were there in their off time, as well as not playing, they had time to work on the social injustice issues and to form ideas on what they can do to help change while they were there, just like the NBA had done. One of the other things I want to talk about too is obviously during your time there at Tennessee, you had a time to play with Kara Lawson as well as Candace Parker. These are 2 women that have done phenomenal things for not only women in sports, but also the sport of women's basketball. Kara is now going to be the head coach for Duke. And of course, we see Candace still playing, as well as her double wubble time. She was also commentating for the TNT analysis, as well as playing in the WNBA bubble. So how do you feel things have changed for the WNBA as far as kind of like their bigger push into trying to be accepted by these fans of anything? Because it's been a struggle, I know, for some of the people here in Las Vegas to kind of accept WNBA. Kind of what are your feelings on how the WNBA has kind of grown and what you think maybe could help them do even better?
Yeah, I've been very, very proud of the WNBA. I mean, I remember when I came out of college and I wasn't sure. I was like, hey, I think I'm done playing. I've played basketball my whole life. I'm ready to and I remember that them talking about like not, because there was 2 or 3 teams that folded that year. That was in 2006. And you just didn't have really promising future of the WNBA. You thought, oh Lord, all these teams are folding. What's going to happen? And they've sustained. They've stood strong. They've built more teams. They've built a better fan base. I really have been excited and proud of how the league has built from. I mean, from when I came out of college, because I remember. I mean, I was like, in 5 years, I don't know if the WNBA will even still be there, because people don't realize that the majority of professional women's basketball is overseas. I mean, that's where you make majority of their money. The majority, you're there 6 or 7 months. The WNBA is just 3 or 4 months. So, for it to be able to give some players, you not have to go overseas and they can spend time with their family and make enough money in the WNBA to, support their family, I think has been really, really good for women's sports and exciting. And, just women's sports in general, I think for young women and girls growing up today, it's so exciting because, I mean, you've got women boxing, you've got women doing everything men do.
Right.
And so you didn't have that when I was growing up. I mean, it's gotten better and better. So it's exciting for the young generation and the young girls and kids that are growing up that they can do the same thing that, their brothers are doing or the men are doing. So it's exciting.
Yeah, that's good.
It really is.
Well, and then you did play overseas yourself. So,
Yeah.
and maybe you can answer. I was kind of in my head thinking, when is the usual, like, European or overseas league start? Because of our season delaying and being kind of delayed a little bit, does that affect now? Well, also with the traveling, I don't think most of us can travel outside the country. Is that going to affect now the overseas playing for these women? And, what other options do the women have if they're not going overseas?
It is. I mean, it's huge because right after the WNBA season, I mean, I'm talking 95% of the girls there, you go overseas because you don't make enough. You haven't ever really made enough in those 3 or 4 months you've got to continue to play, And so it's a tough time. And I think that's why when I remember hearing that even before they had decided that the WNBA was going to get to play, they still were getting paid. And, that's something that you don't have fans. I mean, the WNBA, it's not like the NBA. So I really applaud them for that and not these girls able to, stay at home and still be able to play and because you can't travel right now over and majority of girls do. So, it's just, it's scary times, it's uncertain times, but yet, you're still making the best out of it. And I'm excited to see the WNBA hanging in there and really supporting their girls and their players and being able to keep them up. It's exciting.
That's good.
Yeah,
and
the Dream too, didn't you?
Yeah, the Dream. I played in Turkey and then came back and went to the Dream, and then I also played with San Antonio, and then I was in Poland.
Oh, okay. Now, how was it with the Dream? Because there was some controversy this year with the Dream's co-owner and some of the women not in agreement of her affiliation and statements that she's made about BLM movement and their right to protest and those kind of things. What was your take on that? From seeing that from that side, and then your experience with working with the Dream, and did you witness anything that seemed a little like, hey, I can understand where these ladies are coming from?
So when I was with the Dream, it was the very first year. It was the very first year of the team. So I think everybody was everybody was new. So I remember I went to training camp. I had another girl that was at training camp that played with me, and it was a great experience because, like I said, I didn't have everybody. The coaches were new, the staff was new, the GM, everybody. So it was their first year, and they were just trying to break the ice into Atlanta. And I knew that it was going to be a team. I mean, Atlanta's such a great area for the WNBA, so they've done a really great job there. But it's I never experienced anything like that there. But I've kept up with the Dream. I've watched them. I've had several. Shamika Holtzclaw, really close friend of mine. She played with them for a long time, and never heard anything bad out of the organization. So, it was interesting to see all of that go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was because it was kind of like I think everybody was shocked in the world of it because it's women,
Right.
I think having a female co-owner, she would probably be in the alliance of whatever women's rights and pay and everything else that. including the diversity that happens on the team, you know? So,
right.
It just was very interesting. And I just knew and I get it being first year for you that you didn't, but did it come as a shock to you when that news broke or any of that?
It did. Yeah, it was definitely a shock. Like, I mean, and you know, I've had several. We had a basketball that was in our program at Lady Ball. She was involved with the Dream for several years. She's not there now, but you know, it was a shock for sure because you know I've never heard any negativity that has came my way about that program. So yeah, it was definitely a shock.
Okay.
Wow. Well, we're talking with Brittany Jackson, who's here with us today on Girl Chat Sports. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you again.
Yeah,
let's get into a little bit about this auction that you've got going on.
Yes.
Obviously, because of COVID, you know, some things have had to change around. Usually, you have like your basketball academies and your camps, as well as your auction. Give us a little background on the auction, kind of how it started, and then we'll kind of get into that.
Yeah, so I started my basketball academy. This year would have been my 9th year annual event. And when I started it 9 years ago, I've always had basketball camps. I've loved training kids. I wanted to have something here in my community. And I thought Pat announced she was sick. So I was like, you know what, that's perfect. So we did it for the Pat Summit Foundation and Alzheimer's. And so obviously as she progressed every year, I thought, you know, Lord, as much as she's done for me, anything that I can do to give back. So it's always been for Alzheimer's. And then it hit so close to home with my mother being diagnosed with the same exact thing. And I just lost her last August.
Wow.
So this would have been the 9th year and, you know, the most special because it's in honor of my mom. So, you know, it was tough at first to swallow that I'm not going to be able to do it, but hey, we can't, you know, I can't control that with all this uncertainty and everything. So, yeah, we just decided how can I still make a difference? What can I do? And my auction company has been awesome. I mean, they come up from Atlanta every year and they bring all kinds of cool items. We have a silent and live auction every year for the red carpet event. So this year, you know, but it's been really neat because doing this week, like we started Saturday and we're going to close it on this coming Saturday. And I'm like, you know what, like they're doing this is so easy. Like we'll add this to the event next year. So something positive, you know, has came from all this, but it's just, yeah, we've got the link and the flyer that we've been spreading all week. And it's being able to get people involved that wouldn't be able to make it to the event here in Tennessee.
Right.
So that's something that we'll definitely add to the events throughout these next coming years. But there's all kinds of items. I mean,
oh my God.
Yeah. Here's the flyer now. We've got a little code that you can scan if you want. If you are watching, you can scan that code.
They got Kobe Bryant stuff. I mean, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I saw the Michael Jordan basketball.
It's really cool.
That ball is only going for $250. But you know what I got confused about, Brittany, when I was looking at it today, because you had some Lakers stuff on there too.
Yeah.
It already says winner. So I thought that the auction was over, but that's who has the highest bid.
The highest bid right now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
$250 for the Michael Jordan.
I know. No, there's like a Bora Bora trip that is like all inclusive, like travel, lodging. I mean, I saw some of this stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So no, yeah, it just shows the highest bid right now and it will not close out till 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, this coming Saturday.
People, you got time. And even the cooking lessons, the Ruth, that was amazing. Like cooking
it's so cool. Like I know,
things on that auction.
Yeah, it's for everybody. I mean, there's purses, there's, you know, for women, there's strips, there's sports memorabilia.
You know, I'm a shopper, so
people like sending me messages like, "Don't post that till Friday." Like I'm like, guys, like I've got to trying to raise money.
The Michael Jackson Thriller signed album are like two of the highest things you have going back and forth, and then you have jewelry on there too. That's actually kind of.
And national football, the college national football package, like it's like travel and
hotel.
I
saw that. That's the top one too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start logging in about 10:30 a.m. on Pacific time. Just get towards the end, just so when that cutoff comes, you can just get in there and make a quick bid. And
absolutely.
Because
Bora Prime shopping days. I'm talking about this auction. This auction has some live, legit stuff on it.
Yeah.
She did really well. And I was like, how did she get all of this great
stuff? It's such a blessing. Like every year has gotten better and better, but it's because like as you do this and the contacts and the relationships that you make with people, like I mean, whether it be my former teammates or just friends or people that I have met, I mean, they donate things or like, send. It's really been awesome. And the auction gets better and better every year. But this virtual auction that we've done, it's something that, it's people are like, how hard? I'm like, I just share it. The auction people do all the hard work. And so it's something that I definitely am going to add to my events coming up like next year. I'm positive that we're going to be able to have an event next year. So
yeah, well, especially for those people that aren't near Tennessee or where you would usually have it, those that can't make it, that's a great opportunity to still get in and bid on something so amazing. Like these prizes, some of the auction items are just amazing. So that's great.
They really are incredible. And they're still at what I deem as a low bid. I think everybody has time to really outbid who's there.
Wow, that's cool. So we got the website up there. It's www.auctionpro.co. For anyone that's listening on to the podcast later on, you'll be able to check it out. We'll also put a link into the post that we can share as well. So we'll make sure that hopefully. Well, maybe we won't share it because I know me and Mom want to get in there and get a couple things.
I shouldn't even low-key disclose the items on there. She's got some great stuff on there, and I will be tapping back in.
Yeah, right.
But it's all good for a good cause. I want everybody to go back and forth, get the numbers high, get it what it's worth, and it's amazing that for a virtual auction you have silent with virtual, so it's perfect. It really.
Yeah, all the funds go to the scholarship for your, under your mother's name, correct? Now, how does that work for the people for the scholarship fund? How do people apply for that, or do you guys pick somebody? Is it for Tennessee? Is it for anywhere?
Yeah, so it is my high school that I went to. My mother played as well. Her jersey's retired. Mine's retired. My aunt, my whole family played at the high school here in Cleveland. And so they started this scholarship fund for her when she passed. And it is basically, we give $1,000 scholarship to a Barrett, which is a girl that played for my high school team to go to school. And we just gave our very first one. And she's going to the University of Tennessee she's not going to play basketball, but she got the award, and we gave it to her and just presented to her a couple weeks ago. So every year they'll do that. And so that's what I'm just, obviously my mom was everything to me. And I just have been trying to think of ways to be able. So this year, the event obviously was going to, be in honor of her. So this is just something small that I'm trying to do to help out with her scholarship fund. And we'll have other fun things that we're trying to think of to get in the works. But it's just, it's been a tough year and miss her a lot. It was a year in August, but she means the world to me and my family. And so we are determined to, help find a cure and make a difference in Alzheimer's is the worst. It's awful. It's awful. Lost my coach and then lost my mom. And I'd never before that ever been really affected by it. And now it's like everybody you talk to is affected by it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah. It's an awful disease. So it's all for a great cause, and it's just trying to make a difference.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she's proud of you too, having done all this. Definitely. So
both of them,
for sure. Well, before we let you go, because we know that we heard that you're a Braves fan.
Yeah.
You're going against Mo's Dodgers right now in the.
I will smack you on tonight. I know.
Out there, and I'm not going to battle about this with you at all. So I want to know is how you became a Braves fan, and what do you think the outcome of this series will be in their performances?
Well, I'm going to tell you how I became a Braves fan, and it is the honest God truth. I never got into baseball ever. And I'm an hour and a half from Atlanta, hour and 45 minutes. Okay. And so I always was like, oh, baseball. Oh, I can't watch baseball. And when I finally went to a Braves game, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like, it's fun. So that's how I became a Braves fan.
Okay.
I never really got into baseball until I went to a Braves game, and it's so close. I obviously used to live in Atlanta, and, it was exciting, but yeah, you got to pull for the Braves. Sorry, Mo.
I know it's all good, but don't be mad at me when we beat you guys.
No, I won't hold it against you.
And the crazy thing is, we hosted your team the last 2 games, and it was a home game for us, and we lost both of those, and now we're on the base side of it, and we won today. No telling what's going to happen with a game 4 tomorrow. But we will definitely see how this plays out. And I have to give you guys props. You guys are not a slouch of a team by far. You definitely deserve to be in the position you're in. And we just have to battle and duke it on out.
Yeah, it's what it is. Hey,
what it is. Yeah.
Game by game, you never know what'll happen.
Red against blue.
Yeah.
Red against blue.
Hey, I'm with you though on the Lakers. Go Lakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good then. And it's not only just the Lakers hat. This Laker hat has the 8 and the 24.
I love it. I love it.
On both sides. Yeah. So this is my Kobe Lakers. We did it kind of thing. But yeah. I mean, your Hawks aren't bad.
Yeah. Go Hawks.
But are you a Memphis Grizzlies fan, or are you just diehard Lakers all the way?
No, I'm not really. I'm not like, I don't really have like favorite teams like that, right? But no, I mean, I'm not a Grizzly fan. I wouldn't say I'm a Grizzly fan.
Okay. Now, what player in the NBA do you admire most out of all of this of what you see?
Good question. I mean, my idol growing up it was Michael Jordan. I mean, I watched the Bulls. I mean, it was him and Dennis Rodman. That those were my favorite players growing up. But I really like LeBron. I mean, I loved watching Kobe play. I love LeBron. I just like watching the game. I really don't. People always ask, who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite team?
Right.
I just like watching good basketball. I really don't have favorites like that. I was just pulling for the Lakers because, it's been a tough year losing Kobe. And I just think what better than the Lakers to win a championship, and they deserve it. They deserve it. And, but yeah, I just like watching sports.
Yeah. Now, when it goes to the WNBA aspect, which player have you been following the most and who you give good props to right now with the season?
I'm going to give props to Sue Bird. I was just talking about this. I was a freshman.
Goat to me of the WNBA to a certain degree. Like, she is that one.
She's, first off, wait a second. She's still playing
right
at a high level. Like, she beat my butt in the freshman Final Four when I was a freshman.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, her, Diana Taurasi. I mean, it just, and she's still playing, and she's still playing at a high level. And, it's just, give her props. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that.
It is the truth. She definitely is.
Yeah.
Man. Well, we really appreciate you joining us today. We're going to share your link again. Again, it was Brittany Jackson joining us here. We'll definitely, me and Mo are going to be doing some secret shopping come Saturday late morning.
Like I said, I tapped into it today and I saw it and I was like, oh.
So the live auction, the virtual auction is going until Saturday, the 17th, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time for all of us West Coasters out here. Make sure you tap in, see what's going on. Brittany, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Wish you all the best in regards to your auction. And hopefully we'll check in with you again later on too.
Yeah, Brittany, thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll let you guys know when I come to Vegas.
Yes, please do.
Please do. Please do.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye. Have a good one.
Night.
You too. How awesome.
She's cool.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, really cool.
That was perfect.
I can't believe you did that virtual stuff. Man, listen, all that stuff was just great. Like, it just was really, really dope. And it's open season for anyone that wants to, get in. Get in where they fit in on that, because
man,
got some great memorabilia. A lot of priceless memorabilia.
I saw some of that stuff and was like, no way. When I saw the Bora Bora trip, listen.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Get out this place.
Things like that. Like, it's incredible. It really is.
But I mean, just playing at a professional level, period, playing under Pat Summitt. I mean, playing with just all amazing people.
That is legendary. It really is. Those are just all legendary experiences that she's had. I mean,
playing against Sue Bird. I mean, and Sue Bird is still in this. That's what's crazy.
She is. That's why I feel like so status for sure.
Yeah.
Another champion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we appreciate all you guys for joining in. We're still going strong. We've got some other sports to cover for us going on. Just to tap in a little bit into our Vegas sports. So we all know that our Vegas Golden Knights are, NHL is done with. However, there was some big news in the trading, and we are keeping Fleury. He's no longer on the trade block. So we will have 2 phenomenal goalies come next season. How do you feel about this, Mo?
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, like we've talked. We were talking about an aging Fleury. We talked about it with Brian Feldman, prone to injuries, that kind of thing. We also discussed how, the goalies now in the situation are a lot bigger. They're more on a huskier side of strength, and they darn near barely fit in the goalpost. So why not have that type of defense on your team? And that's what Robin Leonard can bring. So I have no problems with it. I think Fleury understands his position, knows his role, willing to play for the Knights. I think the guy just wants to play. But now I feel like some of that pressure is off of him to, if you will, or torch passing, if you will, to be behind Leonard and also be that mentor to Leonard. You never know what Leonard can be with all of this. So I'm all about it. I think it's great. I am saddened that we lose a Nate Schmidt though. You know, but it's the rules of business. We want to win
the game.
We want to win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And so I'm at the point with hockey at this point, especially our VGK, that whatever position and business moves and strategies we have to do to get the Stanley Cup, I'm all for it because we're just so close. It can never take a bite. So whatever needs to be
done. I remember, and I don't remember where I read it, but someone had said that people here in Vegas were getting very emotional about the trades and the moves that are happening with the Vegas Golden Knights, but they don't. But they made a good point is that Vegas fell in love with the team. They didn't fall in love with hockey. Like they fell in love with this misfit team that came and joined together to help us get to a Stanley playoffs our very first year. But they didn't fall in love with hockey until after that. So now that we're seeing pieces starting to fall and be added, it's kind of like, oh, it's a business. Welcome to professional sport.
We were introduced to them more on a personal level than we were game level. So when you got to get familiarized with each of these players, you started to know them personally because you're following them on all their social medias. And I think that was more in our face than actually the games itself to a certain degree. But now that has switched to your point, you're going to see a fair, decent amount of people that are going to understand.
Yeah.
A higher percentage.
We did sign a major defender. So Alex, I don't even want to say his last name because, most hockey last names are hard for me, but Pietrangelo.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not even going to attempt it. I don't know how to do it.
We'll just call him Alex P.
Alex P. Or
Alex P.
AP.
Alex P.
Got AP.
Yeah, AP got signed. And shout out to John Weeks because, I had to hit Weeksy up like, okay, because, me and you were still kind of fairly new hockey fans. I'm like, okay, Weeks, what's the backstory on this guy? So this guy is amazing. He's basically like one of the all-time defenders every season. Is that for the defensive player of the year kind of thing every year? I mean, this guy is a great piece and he's going to be a great asset for our team on the defense wise. So we're really, really excited to have him. But Nate Schmidt did get traded to the Vancouver Canucks. I was a little surprised it was only like a third round 2022 pick. Like, I guess that's all they had for us, huh? Like,
well, we don't know what the capabilities of that third pick will be. I mean, hey, it may be someone that descended upon us that is gonna be the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if AP is a defender, it's like, oh, see, Donnell saying he's a stud.
Stud.
Hey.
Well, yeah, he played with St. Louis when they won the Blues when they won the championship. So I mean, he's got the experience. He's a great defender. He's a big body, so it can only do well.
That's where it's going. Sadly, that's just where it's going. We need Braun with our offense, and we need Braun with our defense as well as offensively. So hey, I'm with it. I'm all about it.
Yeah, and from what it sounds like, they had originally projected the season for NHL to start January 1st, but I think today the owner for the Vegas Golden Knights said that he thinks it's going to be more like February 1st. So it's going to be crazy that we're going to be having hockey so late, which is going to push everything. There's going to be another summer of sports next year. We're going to have like a late spring and also a fall of sports that I think we should all get ready for, because it's been crazy that we went so far along without any sports. We had so much given to us on each day, and then we may have some similar outcomes again next year. So it's going to be interesting.
I mean, I don't know the predictability of if anything's even going to start. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's
going to happen. They had bubbles. If nothing else, they'll have the bubble again.
We don't even know if it's going to be pushed back even more. We don't know what's going to happen. So February tentatively, I'll roll with that, but time will tell. We don't know. I can't speak on it until I really know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
So. Oh boy. What can we talk a little bit about how Quinn Cook got left at the arena? Where was Quinn Cook at? Quinn, where were you doing?
This is what happened. Everybody was in there popping champagne.
smoking cigars.
Like, 100% hugging the trophy, all of that good fly stuff going on their IG lives until one person said, "Everybody posse out, let's go." And I have a sneaking suspicion Quinn Cook was like, "Hold up, y'all, I gotta go to the restroom." And they didn't hear him when he went. And so by the time he came out, they were already on the bus shipping out. That's what I think. Because
I mean,
just one. Hold up, guys. They didn't hear him. They were all on a high, and they just kind of got all on the bus and didn't take count. Figured everybody was here because everybody heard the roll out, and they all rolled out in a horde except Quinn Cook. He was like, "Oh, hold on." He's that guy that's like last minute, like, "Oh, I gotta go to the restroom." And you were just leaving. You had time.
It was like the person who, I gotta get gas first.
Yeah,
like, there's always one person that has to stop and do something.
I gotta make a stop real quick, and then I'll come pick you up, or I'll be over here.
But then it shows up in J.R. Smith's IG live feed, and he's like, "Yo, y'all left me." And then,
right. Pop on in. Y'all left me. Come back and get me.
Hey, I mean, if there's anything, hey, that just makes your championship even more memorable. I mean, that was the time.
Cook, I mean, it's a given.
I mean, we know they weren't going to leave LeBron.
Didn't play in the series at all, so it's kind of like, were you there? Like, I didn't even know you. And they probably felt the same way too. They didn't know he was there either. You know what I'm saying? They just did not know.
But congratulations to your Lakers.
Yes.
Although here's the deal, I did want to see a better. I did want to see a little bit better outcome, or at least a little better effort from. I was expecting a little more from Miami, but they hit Game 5 and left it all right there. Like, they were exhausted. They had nothing left come Game 6. I mean, by halftime, we all knew.
Game 6 now. This was all a setup at the end of the day, because the way the Lakers were playing in Game 5, there was no way that we were just. It was a lot of rookie mistakes, a lot of whatever. I think it was a push for the Game 6 conspiracy. I'm going to say it. Because we would not beat the brakes off of you like that game. It didn't make it interesting to watch. I'm glad they gave us an exciting Game 5, and I think that was what the president was set for, because of advertisers, everything else, and ratings and all that need a boost. They didn't want us to smoke them. So it's okay. We'll take it. Because I had predicted before Lakers in 6, and that's exactly what they did. So
Mostradamus.
What's that?
Mostradamus.
Yeah, like Quastradamus, shout out to him. Shout out to Jose Volante. Shout out to all my Lakers. Let's pick it. Shout out to everybody that's on the Laker Nation train. This is long deserving, long overdue. We had 2 years where we were just crappy. To come from 2 years to now, oh my God, that says a whole lot. Now, what the future of the team is going to be, that still yet remains. Who's leaving, who's staying, what trades are going to happen? Is AD going to be committed to stay with us? I mean, all of these things. LeBron has 2 years left on his contract. What's that look like? Frank Vogel as a coach, is he going to continue on, or are they going to pull him away? Because rumors of Tyronn Lue is looking really nice over there in Houston. So who knows what, everything going on, and especially our roommates, those Clippers, what's going to happen with them? I mean, is the team going to dissipate? What's the West look like? Right now, they've got the Lakers already at the sports books to win next year.
Wow.
I think they have.
But I mean, there could be some major moves that head over to like Portland. There could be people going to Portland, people going to Denver. You don't know.
NBA draft. We have to draft, so we still have to do that. So you just don't know what's going to happen. And the sports book will always fluctuate and change. But is Giannis staying in Milwaukee? Like, I feel like Giannis is going to leave. But is he going to go to the Heat, or is he going to go to Golden State? And then you got a Brooklyn team coming out with KD and Kawhi.
We haven't even seen yet.
That's right. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. But in the meantime, my Lakers is, for the whole year, we are we're Laker champions until the new season starts. Better yet, we're Laker champions until we see what the next championship looks like and who wins that.
Asterisk or not?
No asterisk. Are you kidding me right now? Okay. We play with the same level. Hey, just because the venue changes doesn't mean the game changes.
Right.
There was no spectators. They had the little virtual bubble and they could see people, but it wasn't the same. And I feel like more teams were locked in without fans. So that was even, it could have been looked at as a gift or a curse or a hindrance. I mean, you had teams really locked in because there was no ambient noise to distract them. There was no heckling. There was no this, no boos, no jeers, no nothing. So I feel like that was a level up than playing like we normally play. We don't know what that would have looked like. The bubble, to me, the bubble made it more difficult to win a championship, if you want to be honest. You have 5th seed and 7th seed teams coming out left field. Like, where the heck?
Coming out the gate.
And that's never happened when we have that publicly like that. So I think it was a leg up, honestly.
I enjoyed it. I liked the bubble.
I enjoyed it too. I have to give props to the NBA for doing such an amazing job of keeping those players safe and having those protocols and those rules. And the NBA bubble and the wobble, it worked. It worked for our women and it worked for our guys. Yeah,
I like
going on with Lemon Pepper and different stuff and people leaving and that kind of thing. But still,
I still can't believe he trademarked that name.
Well, that's Shannon that's gonna have to do that because he's the one that came up with it. That's from what I heard, but I don't know. I think this was a harder thing to do.
Well, and speaking of keeping everybody healthy, because college football has already been taking some major hits, and of course, it's in the two areas that we already know: Florida and Texas. The LSU Florida game was postponed due to 18 scholarship athletes and 3 walk-ons who have all tested positive. Baylor has also, I think they postponed this past weekend. They had 28 players and 14 staff test positive.
Listen, and then Nick Saban, hello.
And Nick Saban got it.
Football, Alabama, he just tested today positive for COVID. Like, listen, this thing is not going away.
And it's not just about looks, because Cristiano Ronaldo also tested positive. So it don't matter if you're ugly or cute anyway. The COVID's going to find you.
But for the Alabama team to have the head coach who was push for football to start, how ironic is that?
Karma.
Because he wasn't going to let no college season get postponed or delayed. He was all about it, and now he's diagnosed with it.
And now
very interesting.
Yeah. Steve Sarkisian gets to take up the reins for this weekend's game, it looks like.
See what it does.
I'm still, I still consider him a Husky, but that's okay. Hey,
and our HBCUs are all on a little break, but HBCUs have announced that they will try to do some type of rendition of virtual homecomings and that kind of thing. So shout out to that.
Well, and shout out to all the HBCUs. We're all checking on you because I know, like, my girl Carmel, and I'm sure anyone else out there who goes to homecoming every year, and this is the one year where there is no homecoming. So check on your friends because they could be going through some things, not being able to go kick it down at their schools.
That's a big party.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll be able to hopefully party next year.
There you go. Look at time. So it is I don't think it's much of a coincidence. I mean, it's Texas and Florida. What do you expect?
It's the South. The South had been opened up for one on the COVID scale. They were kind of not giving a care about that. So it was bound to happen. Like, you didn't see this coming. Like, I'm not surprised.
Right.
It was expected. And Floridians have been Floridians. They do what they want to do. So this is what the outcome of doing what you want to do looks like.
Yeah. It should be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Not that I'm forgetting that college football's on Saturday because my school hasn't started yet. I just kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. There's football this weekend. There's football today.
And a different type of Clemson this year too.
Yes, there is definitely a different type of Clemson.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. We've been so used to like Alabama Clemson teams where they're getting like 12 players all going to the league one year, and then they just auto refill their team. Well, sometimes that team doesn't auto fill as well. And I think we're seeing that.
We are definitely seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into a little bit of NFL because both of our teams won this weekend. Yay.
Give it up to the Raiders.
Yo, they surprised everybody.
Give it up to the Raiders and give it up to Derek Carr, who had just a darn near, if it wasn't for one pick, he'd have nearly a perfect game. I mean, I still constitute it as a perfect game. And everybody out there that poo-pooed about Henry Ruggs III being our draft pick, that 72-yard pass,
caught a touchdown.
He caught that. He caught that. So
Josh Jacobs ran it in for 2. I mean,
we got a squad, and then our defense stepped up. The level of defense that I saw on the field, I mean, it just worked on both ways. Usually with Raider games, you're looking at it like, okay, this is either going to be an offensively win one game or it's going to be a defensively win. One does not complement the other. This day, it complemented each other. I mean, it just was minute after minute. I mean, we scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter.
Are you guys going to bye this week?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just don't see the game.
Yeah, we do have a bye because I think after that is Tampa Bay.
Okay, we have a bye too. But here's my question for you and the Raiders, because we saw them beat the Saints at home, beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, but then have a couple losses along the way. So which Raiders team is going to keep going forward?
We don't know. On any given Sunday or Thursday, we don't, or Monday, we just don't know what Raiders.
Or Tuesday these days. We got Tuesday games.
Tuesday games, yeah. Well, we got 2 Monday night. Well, the Thursday night football game is no longer tomorrow. It's been moved to Monday. Yeah, just so you know, there's no Thursday night football. That game has been moved to Monday. There are 2 Monday night football games, so there's no.
I feel cheated. I feel cheated.
Girl,
I don't want it Tuesday. I want it Thursday. Dang.
Better figure out your Thursday night now because there's no football. Just so everyone knows. But here we don't know what Raiders we're gonna get. We know that Derek Carr is serious about proving himself, and he actually did so on Sunday. There's no doubt in my mind that Derek Carr is the all-time truth. But again, because of injury and those kind of things, if things reactivate for him, could be pains that he just suffers, whatever. Knock on wood, I don't want that. But you just don't know what kind of car you're going to get. But I can tell you this, the O-line is ready. I still want Hunter Renfrow to get catches. I need Derek to focus on Hunter when you're not looking at Ruggs and you're not looking at Darren Waller. You need to look at Hunter Renfrow too, because he's got those hands and he's amazing pocket catches. And he runs. And he can run. So let's see what Renfrow can do. Please. I want everybody to see the magic of Renfrow. Because we already know what Ruggs can do. We already know what Darren Waller can do. We definitely know what Josh Jacobs can do, who gave yards to anybody that had him on his fantasy team today or that day. We know what all of that can look like. We just need to see different surprise players pop up. Like we had on the first TV play on Sunday.
Okay.
With the one kid. I can't remember his name. But yeah, they look good. They look like a Raiders team I hadn't seen in a long time. They almost reminded me of our 2016 Raiders.
They look decent. I think they shocked many of us. They shocked a lot of people. They shocked me and you. We picked the Chiefs anyway.
I mean, shout out to my weekly pick'ems at work. We all selected the Chiefs. And I think some of us with our Raider fans that are in the building there, you know, we all want to place a win with our heart, but we all felt like if we told them they would lose, they prove us wrong and win. So we'll take the L on that. And that's just how we feel. Because if we had picked them to win, they probably would have lost. That's just that's how our karma works. But man, we had an intense game on Sunday night. I mean, listen, we went through our picks. I picked Minnesota to win, and hey, they almost had it.
They almost did, but you can't count Russell out. And if no one understands, it should be Sunday's night's game that makes you realize, okay, you're right. I can't count right. If you haven't learned yet, because there's been numerous seasons and numerous games that have come down to the last play in the fourth quarter where he's won it for us. Yeah. Now you should know. This man, well, not just him, because Chris Carson had a touchdown too, but there was 3 touchdowns in the third quarter under 1 minute and 53 seconds. Yeah. 3 touchdowns. Okay. The last scoring drive was under 2 minutes. They were on 4th down at the goal, not even the goal line. They were 4th down, and I don't know, I think it was like 5 or something. I scored a DK Metcalf. Now, Metcalf is amazing. Now, you can tell there's a great bond between him and Russ that goes off field. DK Metcalf surprised Russell Wilson during his podcast today and surprised him with the Madden 99 award because he got nice. Yeah, it was nice. So he came in, barged in. They were actually interviewing Ken Griffey Jr. on the podcast, which was pretty cool. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So it's just it's a heart attack every Sunday for me. And, you know, I made a post about, because, you know, Mahomes was just about to lose. And I'm like, oh, we need to talk about the MVP race. I was getting a little backlash because I might have posted that too soon and we were playing like crap. Halftime, you guys know me. At halftime, if we're not doing well, I change my outfit. So I went for my jersey, put on my tank top back on, and we were good. Took that win home. Now, our defense. We let Cook run through us. This guy could not be stopped.
Definitely a no-show.
And the thing is that we've never had that big of an issue with the run defense before. I think because we're lacking so much in the backfield that a lot of our linebackers are kind of falling back a little bit. but it was just too. I mean, he ran. They didn't even have to pass. I only think Thielen had maybe a few touches and somebody else because Dalvin Cook ran that ball every time until he got injured, and then his substitute came in and ran through it too. Our defense was bad. So all that I can say is that this week 6 bye is heaven sent because hopefully when we return for week 7, we've got Jamal Adams coming back. He is going to be crucial.
He needs to. You guys are sitting on 5-0 right now.
Yeah, we are. And this is the first time in our franchise history.
Right. In the first 5 weeks of the season, like that speaks high volume. So I'm wondering after your bye, who do you guys play after your bye?
We've got my mom checked in.
Yeah, I saw her. Hi.
We have. Why do I know this? Now I gotta look.
Anybody on the live that knows can look it up real quick. Just let us know. Because I'm very curious what that looks like with your added piece of Jamal Adams coming back on his return and how that gels.
Oh, we go to Arizona. That's what it is.
Oh, the Cardinals. Oh, y'all should have that. Y'all playing in Arizona.
We'll go against Kyle Murray, and he could run through us on. I mean, we have to have Jamal Adams back for that because DeAndre Hopkins, Kyle Murray's gonna be tossing it like crazy. So we've got to definitely get that back.
Arizona, right? That's an away.
Yeah, we go to Arizona. I'm kind of wondering if they allow fans there yet because.
Road trip. Be careful.
I won't, but hey, my girl Claudia lives there. That's usually I'm in Arizona every year for this game, and this is the one year I haven't been able to go. So.
You'll be able to go next year, maybe.
I know.
Just never know.
But what also was great about the game is that Russell Wilson showed up to the game. His pregame outfit was his Sue Bird jersey, and when he won, he was like, man, I felt like I was Sue Bird. Like it was awesome to have, the camaraderie between Seattle players as well as the recognition from, one of the MVP.
You have to. Yeah. We're talking about Wilson. This is the gentleman's gentleman. He's like the mayor. He is going to be that guy. It goes without discussion that this guy would not give accolades and homage to women in sports. This is Russell Wilson we're talking about. We're talking about the same Russell Wilson who dedicated his clothing line called Good Man Brand. He is a good man. So I'm totally not surprised by his actions and his support of the city and the players that are on different types of teams and sports and stuff. Yeah. Right. Russell's that guy. And to your point of them, don't count Russell Wilson out. It's a reason we say in Russ we trust because he always comes through.
He comes through. I mean, you really can't help but love the guy unless you're playing against him. I mean,
you're a supreme hater, and I'd have to wear my mask around you for that type of hate. Like you're a supreme hater if you're not. Come on,
man.
You gotta recognize. You really do. And that's just all it is. You have to recognize greatness, like the Lakers. You have to recognize greatness. Yeah, I know what that feels like.
Oh, looks like there's no fans for Cardinals. That's what.
No fans.
Just hit me with. So yeah, that's too bad. So let's go on to our next subject in NFL. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Prayers to Dak.
That was so gut-wrenching. I am just truly devastated that happened to him. And mind you, I'm no Cowboys fan whatsoever. But we never want to harm any of the players or ill or anything like that. And Dak personally has been through it with the passing of his mom, the sudden passing of his brother. And then it's just a kind of one of those storms that he's in right now, sadly. And I want to see what it looks like, the rise out of that, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. I think he comes back, he's going to be stronger mentally and physically than ever. I think we're going to see he is the truth. I want to see a Dak Prescott that just
comes back and tears it up. I mean, he deserves it. The only thing now that we have to think about is, he did address how, mental health and how depression and stuff sets in. It's going to be a real challenge when you get put in a place that you're going to need a huge support system to help get you through this, especially when you can't be on the fields. You can't be practicing even. You got to heal and get better and take care of yourself first and foremost. But we all wish him the best. Like you said, I'm a Cowboy hater. I've always has been, and I would never wish that on somebody.
You don't want that.
It's sad. And now we get to see Andy Dalton, and if the Andy Dalton, he pulled it through for him.
Yeah,
the Giants had them. The Giants had the Cowboys. They had their number.
They had their number. I honestly have picked the Cowboys to win that day on my pick'ems, and they came through for me on that, and they needed to, because now you're looking at this is for Dak going forward. Now, let's look at his poor franchise tag and everything else that is now no more, and what the future holds with him and what Jerry's going to do. Like, Jerry, give him his money, man. Just give him the back.
But we know Jerry. Jerry don't really care. Jerry's a businessman.
I
He's
know.
like,
I told you guys so. I told you so. That's why this. That's why. You can't really blame it on that, though. It's just one of those things that happen. And like I said, he could come back even stronger, more formidable. Just.
Well, I hope he can get his money, but I bet this is a weird suspicion that like something's gonna, like, if the Cowboys continue to do bare the minimum and do really crappy, I feel like they might target somebody else in the draft.
They may, but I hope it doesn't come to that. But you never know. Like, again, it's big business, and yeah. Also, the Bears. I picked the Bears to win. I picked them to win.
Yeah.
No one saw that coming, but they owned that thing. They were doing it. Nick Foles, I mean, he looked good. He looked pretty good. I mean,
he looked good, and Tom did not look that good.
And I got lucky with that pick. Because on Thursday nights, it's always the upset of teams, except the previous Thursday night game. But you just never know.
Yeah. And let's talk about those Saints and Chargers, because this kid, Justin Herbert, man, I don't know what else he can do, but he is phenomenal as a rookie.
I picked the Chargers to win that Sunday game. I picked them to win it. And I mean, they really could have had that game. They totally could have. And to your point, Justin Herbert is a beast.
Well, the kicker had the go-ahead field goal, and he missed it at the end. But here's my issue. Sorry, Justin Herbert is amazing.
He's a truth.
The way that he sees the field, how he handles pressure, the way he moves. I mean, he plays like a veteran in the league, and he's a rookie. It's just amazing how well he does, and it's just unfortunate he's getting stuck behind a team that can't seem to keep it together. But my other issue is this: when we're watching the games and the announcer, there's a kick coming up, it's a big field goal that needs to be made, and the announcer's like, oh yeah, well, blah, 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 hasn't missed a kick since da-da-da-da-da, or blah, 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 missed this one. I feel like every time the announcer comes on before someone's kicking a field goal, should just shut up. Because I feel like you jinx them one way or the other. Either they're going to make it or they're going to miss it, because you're saying, oh, they're 4 for 5. They haven't missed a 50-yarder since 2002. And then, boop, he misses it.
Well, they always give little factoids before every kick.
I know, but it makes me cringe every time I hear that.
You know what I mean? But it's always some kind of factoid. They're not going to stop that.
I just be cringing. Happens. Like, it's like, oh, I can feel it happening. I know.
Yeah, you put that out in the atmosphere, but they always give little factoids before these kickers approach. Like they say, at the Bears game, they said one of the kickers have never made a kick this far in yards, and he made it. So it's unfortunate. The Chargers do look nice, though. I don't.
They're going to win one. It's just sad that all their losses have been from like a 3 point,
field goal,
4 points.
And I don't see them. I'm sorry to say this. I just don't see them producing this season. The AFC West, they're probably going to stay at the bottom, which is fine for me being a Raiders fan. We'll take it. But yeah, they got to do something though to keep Herbert. That's for sure. So I think next season, definitely I can see them being promising. But this season, it's not falling for them. When is the tide going to turn for them to get a win?
I mean, at least they're not the Falcons.
They're not the Jets. Can we talk about the Jets drama?
Listen. So Le'Veon Bell he's a free agent. They released him.
Where's he going to go?
People are talking about the Chiefs. My thing is, how do the Chiefs have money for him?
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Like, who's going to give him that money? The people were talking Detroit. I don't know where the man could go, honestly. I really don't. And then I heard some people say Tampa Bay, and I'm like, I don't think he's going to do that.
I don't know. Was the holdout worth it?
Well, the coach didn't see his value, and that was what started the catalyst of it. He just never agreed with him coming on for that amount of money, and it was a huge contract. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
The coach never, was on agreements with that, and so he just never felt, like. But
do you feel like it was somewhat of a karma piece too? Like he was tweeting and talking so much crap to Jamal Adams for leaving, and next thing you know, you're on the chopping block and getting gone. At least Jamal had a team he went to.
He has an ace team. They're 5-0.
I mean, if you want to come over and join the squad, no.
I don't think you wanted him to do that. I don't think you want that shot of juju.
We don't need all that. We don't. Now, I will say this: I wouldn't mind Dan Quinn coming back to Seattle as our defensive coordinator. Now, he left us to go take the job in Atlanta. We had just won the Super Bowl. He's a great defensive coordinator. I love him, and I'm really getting tired of our current DC because we need some changes on defense. And right now, it hasn't happened. So, Dan, if you want to come back, they even asked Pete about it. He was like, well, I'm here for him if, he wants to talk or whatever, but there's been no decisions, no time, no this, so that. So it's interesting.
Your boy Melvin Gordon got hemmed up this weekend too.
What were you partying for? Did they,
and that's the thing I'm talking about. This is why these COVID cases pop up with these players and in their teams, because they're not bubbling or quarantining when they go home. So he's out gallivanting, drinking, whatever, gets pulled over, gets DUI. Very unfortunate, but you got to be responsible. That kind of thing.
You have to be responsible.
But at the same time, we're in COVID right now. Where the heck are you going and turning up like that, where you end up getting seriously? This
like, he was just celebrating that his game got postponed, so he had some extra time on his hands. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I don't know.
That's your boy.
No, but can we talk about the Niners? I mean, we don't have to talk very long because they're not worth it. But
I mean, you want to talk about it? I don't. I mean,
I just want to laugh at it. I want to laugh at that. Everybody was, when Jimmy G comes back, we're gonna listen. Jimmy got benched, and you guys aren't great. Okay, so you lost the Dolphins.
This is the thing. I always said this, and I don't know if I said it when we were in the studio. Shout out Gorilla Cross, but I always never saw it in Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't see it.
I don't.
His line I see. Everyone else I see, I don't see him. Because he's not a playmaker. He's listening to Kyle Shanahan. He's not, you know what I mean? He's just not.
And they still have a bunch of injuries still too, but they had Kittle back, and Kittle is a one-man team. He can't do it all.
To the helmet to make his plays happen. He can't take plays on his own accord. He can't decipher, and he can't.
I don't know. But one feel good moment from the weekend was Alex Smith. We saw back on the field, which I don't think many of us thought would ever happen.
Right,
exactly. If you saw that E60 on him, the 17 surgeries he had on his leg, just the rehab. I mean, 2 years of this man and his battle back, and he got back on the field on Sunday. So
it's a good look. And I always liked Alex Smith as a quarterback. I always thought he was one of those elite quarterbacks. He definitely, when he took injury in the past with 49ers and Cap took his place and they advanced. Yeah. I thought the 49ers were crazy to get rid of him. They should have never have done that. And then when he went over to Arizona Cardinals, he was throwing down. I mean, he was the Alex Smith that I used to seeing, changed it for him as a franchise. So it's good to see him out there. He's a guy who can get the job done. And for the circumstances of what it is, you might need to keep him going.
Yeah. Man. And the other thing, too, about this whole Denver-New England game being postponed an extra week or so, like, they had 1 COVID case and 2 that was last week. Okay. So they've been 1 whole week without Cam they were about to go on 2. And next thing you know, their complete game gets postponed to a further week, not till Monday or Tuesday.
I know.
So my thing is, what kind of craft magic is happening that gets your team to be able to buy? They had to switch around schedules that affected 8 different teams.
It's Bob Kraft. Are you serious right now? One of the second most influential people in the NFL besides Jerry Jones.
I'm just saying.
They were going to make power moves. It's New England too. Come on. That's average. That's everybody that wants a New England game. They're going to make that happen no matter what.
Terrible. It was.
And with Cam having the COVID and seeing Cam come back, because they want to keep pushing it because they want Cam to play. Let's be real. That's what it is. So they need to have Cam play. So they got to make these moves.
Yeah. You're right. All right. Well, we should get into our picks. Last week I won. It was 3-2. I think it's only because you had taken Washington, just because you were like, I'll try this just to be different, know. But it was good. I mean, there was great games last weekend.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. But this weekend, I just realized when I was looking at my sheet, there is no Thursday night. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I guess I got a free evening to do something.
Girl, you better figure it out. I've been watching Sneakerheads on Netflix. If you guys haven't checked out Sneakerheads, that is like the ultimate show right now. It is so comical, so
I'm
funny.
gonna check it out. I actually saw it when I was perusing over the Yeah,
or you can catch the Dodgers game tomorrow against the Braves, depending on what time that is. That would be something worth watching to see my Dodgers win it the second game in a row, because that's what's gonna happen.
Well, that's the other thing too, is that I feel like the playoffs right now is going on a lot earlier during the day than it usually has before. Like I'm like, wait, there's a game on. It was like 1:00. I'm like, I didn't know. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
This game tonight was 4:00. So I think tomorrow's game might be around that same time too. So get off of work and then you got time to watch that.
Right. Okay, so we've got Denver at New England, which got rescheduled.
Yeah, that got rescheduled.
I'll go with New England. Is Cam back? No.
Cam's still out. If you look at, oh my God, I have Cam on my fantasy. It says COVID next to his name. It's so sad. And some of the other
I'm just gonna go with New England just for, giggles. What about you?
I would agree with you on New England, but I know we're playing opposites, so I'll go with Denver. I don't know Von Miller or anything like that. Are they playing in New England?
Yes.
Yeah, New England will probably win that game though. So
okay, I'll put you over there. It's fine. We'll have other ones. Houston at Tennessee. Yo, Tennessee is looking. They came.
Congratulations to Houston for getting their first win too. By the way, I meant to say that
too. That too.
Finally got a mark on the board. But I'm gonna roll with these Titans. You said Tennessee versus Houston, right?
Yep. In Tennessee.
Titans. Wow,
if it's magic, maybe.
What a game they had last
or no, Tannehill. Sorry, Tannehill is looking good for them.
He is. He's looking
and
nice.
Derrick Henry, can we talk about his arm on Josh Norman and just like all the memes of Josh Norman now? Oh my God, it's so funny. All right, my Browns at Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna have to go with these Brownies are on fire. I mean, they're winning at home, they're winning away, but I don't think they're a match for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's undefeated right now, so I'm gonna roll with those Steelers. Sad to say, I'm sorry, because I do like the Brownies. I don't really have a problem with them. I know they're in AFC. But
I'm just gonna go with the Browns because I'm just gonna roll with them. I feel like if anyone's gonna take them out, it's gonna be someone that's probably not expected. So we'll see. Baltimore at Philly. I think that's it.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens on that.
Washington here's the dumpster of the dumpster. Washington at New York. Giants.
You know what? Believe it or not, I'm taking the Giants.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Washington on this.
They came very close on that other game.
They sure did.
So I want to see these Giants. So I'm gonna roll with them.
Atlanta at Minnesota.
Oh, Vikings all day. They almost beat you guys. They got a cap off on Atlanta.
Yeah, but Dalvin still could be injured too. But their backup was good.
I mean, hey, their secondary looked nice all day. So I'm rolling with Minnesota on that.
Cincinnati at the Colts.
Colts on
that. I don't even know why the Bengals still have an organization.
I don't either.
Poor Joe. Poor Joe.
Poor Joe.
Chicago at Carolina.
You know what?
Carolina looked decent last weekend.
The Panthers have been surprisingly nice. Like they beat the Chargers that week, and I honestly a week ago,
and they're at home.
And they're at home. Yeah, I'm rolling with the Panthers on it.
All right, me too. Jets at Miami.
Miami, girl. Miami's been. Can we talk about the Dolphins? How they've been upsetting some of these teams.
I mean, they hit us pretty good for a minute, but yeah, it's crazy.
Shout out to Mike Dixon. Whatever you did down there in Florida, it's working, honey.
They're trying to get ready for those 60,000 fans they want to have in their stadium.
That's gonna get canceled real quick.
Green Bay at Tampa Bay.
Woo! That's the one. That is the one. Man, Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady. I'm rolling with those Green Bay Packers. Shout out to Cornell. Shout out to Sarah.
I'm gonna go opposite just because we need to I'm gonna do Tampa Bay. Just
okay. Shout out to Guru and
do it for Natalie. Do it for Natalie and Guru. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to Guru.
The Rams at San Francisco.
Rams at San Francisco. Oh, the Rams. I'm gonna roll with the Rams.
Yeah. I still hate their logo because I just feel like
it's Chargers. Like it's just this nonsense is what it is.
You said the Rams?
Huh? I said the Rams, yeah.
Me too. Okay. Chiefs at Buffalo for Monday. We got 2 Monday night games starting at 2:00.
And both of them took L's.
Kansas City at Buffalo. This one's going to be a good one.
Buffalo's got to make it up. If it's in Buffalo, you said?
It's in Buffalo.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Kansas City. What you got?
I said the Bills, but I think they're going to – I'm going to pick the Bills. Let's just make it exciting. I want to see the Bills because here's the thing. Pat Mahomes could go a twofer. They're flying away from Arrowhead. They're coming to New York. It's a totally different animal. We'll see. Both of them have something to prove from their L's. It's gonna be those points will probably be high in that game too.
I'm sure. Take the over, yeah.
Depending on what the
I didn't even write down the over-unders and the points.
Yeah, I'm curious about the over and under on that. If anybody knows in the audience, I'm very curious to see what that looks like.
And then we got Cardinals at Dallas. This could be interesting.
It really could.
I mean, here's the deal. Andy Dalton wasn't doing bad. Now, if you get the Andy Dalton that was firing away for a while in Cincinnati, he's got an arm. He's got great experience. He's got CeeDee Lamb. I mean, you've got some good targets, but is the offensive line going to do anything? Their offensive line is crap.
I'm going to take the Cardinals on this.
Are you?
Yeah. Kyler Murray, they've been upsetting teams.
I'm going to take the Cardinals too, but here's the deal. I have Kyler on my fantasy leagues, and he did not do as well last week as usual. He kind of got stopped. Not stopped, but stopped in the Kyler. This man gets like 80-some points for me every week, and last week he gave me 60.
I know. I have Kyler Murray too. I just never use him. I always go with Pat Mahomes, and Pat Mahomes did not bring me in.
Shout out to Coach Truck and the cheerleaders. Yeah, there's no cheerleaders here.
No, there's no cheerleaders. Yeah,
and there never will be. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that's our pick'ems. I kind of forget where we're at, but I know you won last time. We didn't do 4. We didn't do week 4. I know you won. We're probably like tied 2-2 right now.
Yeah, we just keep rolling. We got 16 weeks of this. I'm
keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Shout out to my Pick'ems crew, the Let the Ball Bounce Money Get Money Ministries Pick'em week, and shout out to Minorities family on our Pick'em weeks. You know,
right.
Shout out to Chef Jesus, the winner of this past week of week 5. I have to just shout him out.
And I don't know if you guys have been noticing in the posts I've been making in Girl Chat Sports. We are syndicated over at 24/7 AM Radio Network. We are on Tuesdays as our replay, and then we do this Wednesday show. They have an Amazon Echo giveaway starting November 2nd through 9th. They'll give one Echo Series 3 or Generation 3 out each day. All you need to do is go to 24/7 AM Radio Network, register, and then you just got to listen in for certain songs, and you can have an extra Echo around the house.
Nice.
That's simple. So shout out to 24/7 AM Radio Network for that. We appreciate them. Shout out to Brittany Jackson for coming on again. Make sure you check out her auction. Just don't choose a couple of the items that me and Mo plan on buying.
Please don't.
Or buy Bora for me. If anyone's out there, go on Auction Products CO, bid on the Bora trip, and let's go on vacation.
My message is please don't. Because you're going to put me in the poorhouse outbidding you. That's just what's going to happen.
We can team up and go together, Mo. We can do Girl Chat Sports from Bora Bora.
Hey, a free trip to Bora Bora. I'm with it.
I'm saying.
Just please don't, everybody. Like, don't have me on the corners with a sign. Like, that's what's going to take on these bids. I'm just going to be going crazy bidding for folks.
Anyways, you guys, we've had a great show. Again, thank you to Brittany Jackson. Make sure that you subscribe, like, share, follow Girl Chat Sports on all social media. We are live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook every Wednesday about 7 p.m. Pacific time.
7-ish. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. Everybody's good. We appreciate it.
I had to make sure I was ready for the
thank you, Nate.
No, with my ensemble.
Got your ensemble on.
Yes.
And hey, it's bye week, so it's finally a relaxation week for me this weekend. As for you, we don't get to stress about my team, so I'm excited for that. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. And of course, we will check you again next Wednesday.
All right, stand up.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.